Unfortunately, sad news coming out of the sports world as boxer Patrick Day dies after sustaining a brain injury after his KO loss to Charles Cornwell. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, this is a sad situation because, you know, Patrick Day was going into the ring like other boxers do on a regular basis, trying to be a warrior for 12 rounds, trying to provide for his family, make a living. Never thought he would lose his life in that ring. Never thought that this would be his last fight. All right? Never thought that. You know, you go in to boxing, you never know what's happening. Obviously, I'm gonna get into a very important topic within this topic, you know, as far as doping and all that other. So I'm not saying Cornwell did that. I'm just using it as a point. You know, the brother did show remorse, and I'm gonna get into that later. But you just don't know where you going into when you go in a boxing ring. And it's unfortunate the brother had to lose his life. The brother was knocked down in the fourth round, excuse me, in the fourth round by right hand. And in the 8th round, same way. And then the 10th round is where Cornwell landed 2 rights and a left hook that KO'd Patrick Day. And as he was carried out on a stretcher, the ref immediately stopped the fight after that knockout in the 10th round, and he was rushed to the ambulance and never regained consciousness since that knockout. He ended up having a seizure, in a coma, ended up being in a coma, and ended up, unfortunately, losing his life. Now, Cornwell, the guy who knocked him out, recently said 2 days before he died, so I can not even understand and put into context how he feels now, because this was two days before Patrick Day died. He came out with this and said, "I never meant for this to happen to you. All I ever wanted to do was win. If I could take it all back, I would. No one deserves for this to happen to them. I would play the fight over and over in my head, thinking, what if this never happened? And why did it happen to you? I can't stop thinking about it myself. I prayed for you so many times and shedded so many tears because I couldn't even imagine how my family and friends would feel. I see you everywhere I go, and all I hear is wonderful things about you." Patrick Day was 27 years old when he lost his life. And mind you, Cornwell made this statement 2 days before it was announced that he died. So I can understand how he feel right now, knowing that the brother didn't make it. Craig, what are your thoughts on this?
Man, I just think it's devastating to the sport of boxing as a whole. I'm not too knowledgeable about boxing in general. I've never had too much experience in the boxing world. But I want to actually take another quote from Lou DiBella, who was one of the promoters of the event. I think it was a really nice quote, and it's important for people to hear. He said, "It becomes very difficult to explain or justify the dangers of boxing at a time like this. This is not a time where pronouncements are appropriate or answers are readily available. It is, however, a time for action. While we don't have the answers, we certainly know many of the questions, have the means to answer them, and have the opportunity to respond responsibly and accordingly and make boxing safer for all who participate." So I think if we could take away one thing from the situation, something has to be done about the safety of boxing, potentially the training of boxing. Is there much information out, do you know, about like how he was preparing for the fight in terms of like weigh-ins and stuff like that?
Not really. But the fact that you brought it up, that is an issue in boxing, is the weigh-in. Yeah. And guys having to slim down and stuff like that. That's very dangerous. Extremely.
Dehydration and rehydration. You know, DiBella also said, actually no, Bob Abrams said this. This was another promoter.
Yeah,
and this
Bob
was
Abrams,
on ESPN. He was talking to Max, and he said that weigh-ins should be on the same day of the event as they used to be instead of the day before. Because nowadays some fighters tend to get down to the lowest possible weight as they can, and then rehydrate up to 20 pounds of water weight that day. You know,
exactly.
The time before that. And that's
exactly
horrifying. I don't know how you could. It can't be healthy in any aspect.
And honestly, and that's an excellent point by you to bring it up from Bob Arum, because a lot of these guys, a lot of things can happen in 24 hours. Mm-hmm. The weigh-ins are 24 hours before the fight, basically the day before. So a lot of things can happen. You know what I'm saying? The guy could be looking at skinny as me, next day looking like Matumbo. I mean, literally, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that can happen within 24 hours in a boxing, leading up to the boxing fight. So that, I really feel like boxing needs, and listen, I'm one of the biggest boxing fans in the world, ladies and gentlemen. But I am going to call a spade a spade. I do believe that boxing needs to step up in protecting boxers, because these guys are going 12 rounds with a guy hitting them on the head for 12 rounds, jabbing them, all sorts of things, uppercuts, body shots, I mean, head trauma. They need to do a better job. And it's very evident when it comes to doping, illegal substances, right? We recently had we also had boxers die over the summer. That's important to mention. We had boxers that died over the summer. And we also had boxers over the summer that was busted for taking illegal substances. Dillian White was one of them fools, was one of them clowns. Even though I believe something happened where he took it before, I don't know, it was something, a twist in that situation. But I know for a fact, Gerald Miller, he was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua. The brother got busted for 3 different substances. And you know how long his suspension was? 6 months. Listen, fighters generally fight every 6 months. So you basically suspended him on a normal boxing vacation that a boxer would take after a fight. That's a joke. 6 months for taking 3 different substances? Brother, people could lose their life. You saw how Andy Ruiz dropped Joshua to the floor. Now imagine that was Gerald Miller. So I think boxers really need to do a better job of boxing in general, of penalizing dudes for anti-doping and taking illegal substances. A lot of people is doing that little baby training wheels. Oh, 3 strikes, you're out. No, you get busted, brother. You gotta serve some time as far as suspension when you can start getting busted. You know what I'm saying? And I always made that a point in my talks because of stuff like this. Because you never know who could lose their life. And if it ever came a moment, God forbid, knock on wood, where a fighter lost his life and it came evident that the boxer had illegal substances, then they will try to step up their game. But does it have to go that way first in order for changes to be made? So,
and that's what he's saying right now. That's what Lou DiBella said right now. We know many of the questions, we have the means to answer them, and we have the opportunity to respond responsibly. So it's time to do that and make some changes in the way the boxing is carried out.
Yes, sir. And between that and the weigh-in, and I just think boxing needs to tweak up some rules a little bit just for the safety of its employees. You know what I'm saying? You always, in this world, need to look out for your employees. That makes, you know what I'm saying? Like Adam Silver, like who we just discussed in his China situation. He looked out for his employee, Daryl Murray. He stand with his employees. He normally does that. He says to the people playing basketball, boxing needs to do that. They need to support their employees and make the rules safer. Even if boxers generally want to keep things traditional, sometimes you gotta know what's best for how can I say? You need to know what's best for your people, right? Like me personally, when you have parents, right? Craig, your parents told you to wear a coat outside when it's daggone 19 degrees, and you be like, I'm fine with a sweater, right? I'm good with a sweater,
You're saying
right?
that's 60 degrees, man. My mom be saying that no matter what.
Bro, exactly. You ain't lying, Craig. My mom always want me to wear a jacket. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to wear a jacket. But at the end of the day, if you know what's best, you're going to put out that suggestion. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you got to wear a jacket. Obviously, I'm at the age right now where, you know, mama can't force me to do it. She can only put it in my head. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, mama. Mm-hmm. But that's how it is. That's how the boxing needs to do. They need to make these rules, right? Whether or not boxers agree with them, I don't see why they wouldn't agree with it. They need to put it out there because we cannot have no more Patrick Day instances happening where boxers is losing their life. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got to say on this situation.
Real Leel Show.